Welcome to the Radiant Resilience Yoga with Resistance Band class. So before we get started, there are some things you're going to need to gather in order to utilize this class to its fullest. You're going to want two blocks. And if you don't have blocks, you could use a kind of a short step stool instead. That will work just as well. In fact, it might even work better, but just make sure it's not too tall. You might need a knee pad as we do some kneeling things. And then you're going to want two types of bands. One that is circular, and if you have a couple of a couple of bands that are just big long bands, you could tie one as a circle, not too wide. And then the other one is a long band of which I've tied two small loops, one at each end. So I'm going to get closer so you can see. So this is just a really long band, and then I tied little loops at each end, just like that. Okay, so that's what you're going to need to gather up. If you need to hit pause while you're getting things ready, go ahead and do that. And when you're ready, just a quick reminder, everything we're doing is optional. So if something is not working for you, it hurts, it just doesn't feel right, use your wisdom. Only you know how your body feels. So make sure you're keeping yourself safe. So you can skip, you can modify if something isn't working for you today. Okay. Hmm. So this one's a new one for me. We will feel like we're working some things a little bit differently as we move through class. But before we even start using the bands, I just want us to do our general warm up. So go ahead and come down to the floor in constructive rest pose with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, arms comfortably out from your sides, palms turned up. And we're just going to take three big sighs. On your first one, let your low back and your belly relax. On your second one, let the shoulders do the same thing. Let them melt towards the floor. And then maybe lengthen out the back of your neck by sliding the base of your head away from your shoulders. And then take one more sigh and see if you can allow anything else to relax with this sigh. And before we start to do any moving, check in. Is there anything that needs a little extra care or extra attention as we move through class so that you're really being mindful? And then slide your arms up to a T position and just start to move into those easy windshield wiper twists. Exhaling as you go into your twist, inhaling as you come out of your twist. Take it nice and slow. You can adjust how near or far apart your feet are from each other to shift how this twist feels in your body. In general, a wider foot position, you'll get a little more activity in the hips, but just make sure that feels okay in your low back and your knees. And then as you go into this next twist, stop and move through a sigh. And then do the same thing on the other side. Good. And then from there, we're going to bring the legs long on the floor, reach your arms up over your head on your inhale, stretching out through the whole body. Exhale, relax. And then inhale, stretch one side and release, and stretch the other side, release. And just go from side to side just a couple more times here. And then after you've gone to each side, equal number of times, come back into a full body stretch and relax. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, one knee comes up to your chest. If it's more comfortable, you can always slide the other foot back to the floor and sigh here. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side and sigh again. And then we're going to bring knees into your chest and go ahead and rock side to side, or you can circle knees in the same direction. If it's more comfortable, cross your ankles. So while we're doing that, I'm just going to say, why use resistance bands? So that will help us build strength. And then if you're circling, go the other way and cross ankles in the opposite way. It helps us build strength. So, we're always trying to maintain our strength and flexibility and balance as we age. And this is just another way to create a little extra load, a little extra work. So we're building strength within our yoga poses. All right, as you come center, you're going to move your legs in big circles opposite each other. So the knees go apart, circle around, and come back together. Working into your hip joint, and then go the other direction. When you come into a wide position with the knees, just stop there. And when you come into that wide position, make sure you have your tailbone nice and lengthened. Shoulders are dropped towards the floor. Back of your neck is long. And then you're welcome to stay in this position. You could bring soles of the feet together into more of a butterfly position. You could also go into a happy baby. So choose one of those three options, and then you might decide to do some rocking. Coming back into center for a breath. And then release. Knees back into your chest. Hands go to the backs of your thighs. Flex your feet. Breathe in. Exhale, reach legs long. Inhale, bend. So just pump the legs, bending and straightening. And as you're doing this, make sure your feet are flexed with your toes spread out. And then lengthen the legs up. Let's reach arms up too. And then point and flex your feet. Move through your wrists. Palms up, palms down. Rotate the ankles and the wrists. Go the opposite direction. And then flex your feet, spread your toes out, give your hands a little shake, and then bend your knees back into your chest. Okay, from here, we're going to go into the first thing using our band. So I want you to take the band that's in a loop and bring it around your thigh. So you just above your knees, right? Just like that. And then we're gonna lengthen the arms out, and your hands can just rest gently on your knees. And you're gonna press the low back down into the floor and draw the navel in towards your spine. And then from there, we're just gonna open the knees out kind of into a happy baby position, but not quite. It's more of a 90-90. So when I say 90, your knees are 90, your hips are 90. Okay, so that's why you have your arms long, because that helps you stack your knees directly over your hips. Low back down, navel drawn in, and you're just gonna open knees wide. Oh, my strap just blew up my leg. So you may have to deal with that a little bit. Just adjust whenever you need to. I'm gonna actually use my hands there to kind of keep them in place now. And they're gonna open wide and slowly bring them back together. And bring them wide and back together. So we're really working those outer thighs, the abductors and outer glutes here. You're also using your core very strongly to keep everything nice and stable. Hopefully you're feeling this. I certainly am. Okay. Now, the next time you bring your legs back together, you're going to move your hands just onto your left leg. And you're just gently going to push the left knee up into your hands, and the hands meet that resistance. So again, really activating our core. And then the left leg stays as is, and now you're going to open and close just the right leg. So a little more isolation work and this sort of asymmetrical movement challenges the core a little differently. Make sure you're still breathing. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to bring the hands to the right leg. Right leg pushes up into your hands. Make sure the navel is still in towards the spine. Low back down. Now keep your right leg stationary as you open and close the left leg. Try not to do any rocking in your body. So I noticed the first side, I felt a little stronger, like I felt more stable on the floor. So as you're doing this, you might find your body is wanting to shift. So really try to engage core, activate the core to stay as still as you can while just moving the left leg open and closed. Okay, we'll just take two more. Open and close, open and close. Now we're going to go back to what we did at the beginning, which was both legs together. And just notice how easy that feels now. I mean, you might feel fatigued, but it's a symmetrical movement, which makes it feel a little easier. Good. Last one. And then hug your knees into your chest. Go ahead and rock side to side. And as you're doing that, we're going to move the strap down to your feet, just like this. Okay, so then we're going to bring right knee into your chest as you start to lengthen the left leg. Yeah, just like that. Low back down. And we're going to take a breath in. And as we exhale, switch. Breathe in and slowly switch. Breathe in and switch. So we're back to where we started. Now you're going to bend and straighten the right leg. Just gently holding the left leg in towards your chest. So if you hold it in closer to your chest, the right leg has to work a little more to bend and straighten. If you move the leg further away from your chest, the leg is still working, not maybe as hard, but you're engaging more of your core, low back staying pressed down. So you can kind of decide which thing you want to emphasize. Okay, we're going to do two more. Good. And then bring right knee in and we'll switch, just bending and straightening the left leg. And if you're doing it one way, you could always switch it up if you're starting to get tired and just to emphasize the different ways. Okay, let's take one more like this. Good. And then both knees come up and we're going to alternate again. Straighten and come back and straighten, come back. Let's go one more each leg. Straighten, release, and straighten and release. Knees to the chest. Let's move the strap off to the side and just take a little rocking here. And then set your left foot down on the floor, cross your right leg over your left thigh, and then push your right thigh away from you or towards the foot end of your mat, pressing near your hip crease. And after that, release, come into your figure four. So you could always keep the left foot down on the floor. You could set one of your blocks underneath the left foot or bring the left knee up and then move side to side with your legs. And then stop where it feels like the right spot to stop in. Breathe there. All right, and then we'll do the other side. First, cross the ankle over thigh, press the left thigh away from you near your hip crease. As you release that, knees to the chest, rock side to side, or you can keep the right foot down to the floor or on your block. And then find where you're gonna stop. Breathe right there. Take a breath in and out. Good. And then release. Both knees to the chest. Let's rock side to side. And then roll to your side to bring yourself upright. Okay. So now we're going to take that long strap that has the two little loops on one on each end. Okay. And we're going to put one of those loops around your left foot. And then you're going to bend your right knee. From there, I'm just going to hold on to that right knee. You can lean back a little bit if you need to. Same hand as a foot that's on the strap. We're going to take a breath in, and arm is long, and you can always adjust how much tightness you want here or how much resistance you want. So we're going to take a breath in, make sure you're sitting nice and tall. And as you exhale, we're going to pull the elbow back and then inhale, come around. So I'm going to turn this way so the angle is just a little bit easier for you to see. Take a breath in, exhale, pull back, a little twist. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull and release. Good. And pull and release. Let's go 4 more on this side. 4. Take it really slow, both directions. 3 and 2. Good. And 1. Good. And now, let's see, let me see if I can remember. We're going to take the opposite hand. So this is my left arm and leg. You're going to take your right arm around and bring it back. There you go. So we're doing kind of a bind. Now, if this doesn't work, you can have more laxity in your band, okay? And then opposite hand to bent knee, take a breath in. Oh, I'm getting a cramp. Take a breath in, and then as we exhale, we're gonna come into a twist towards that bent leg. And then inhale, come back out. Exhale, twist. Inhale, back out. And twist. And release. We'll go 4 more. 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. All right. And then we're going to release that. Let's, if you need to, you can come back onto your back, do a little rocking. And then we're going to go back. We're going to go to the other side. So you're going to move your strap, loop it around your right foot, right leg long, left leg bent. Right hand's going to hold on to your strap. Left hand's going to hold on to that bent knee. So you can always lean back a little bit and just make sure you're holding on to that knee for support. But make sure your chest is not, your spine is long. So if being straight up and down, if you're straight up and down but you're rounded, it's better to keep your spine straight and lean back a little bit. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, pull. Inhale, release. And pull and release. And we'll go 4 more. Slow in and out. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good. And now we're going to keep the strap around the same foot. Reach your left arm behind you, and then use your right hand to help you grab a hold of the band. And then right hand crosses over to opposite knee. Again, sit nice and tall. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, twist towards that bent knee. Inhale, release. I'm going to pull mine a little tighter. You adjust as you need to. Exhale, twist, and release. Let's go 3 more. 3 and 2 and 1. Great. Okay. Now we're going to take we're going to take both little loops over the right foot. So then you have a big loop. So you've got the 2 little loops around your right foot, and then you're going to bring your left knee up through that big loop. Hands go around the back of your left thigh, and I'm going below the strap so it keeps the strap from sliding off my leg. And then we're going to use the strap as kind of some leverage. We're going to roll down and roll up and roll down, roll up. And it takes several repetitions before you sort of get things organized here. And we'll take 4 more. Make sure you're breathing. 1 more. Oh, I lost it. And come up. Good. Now we'll release that side and we'll switch both little loops around the left foot. Once you have those little loops around the left foot, you're going to lengthen out the left leg and then bring your right knee up through that bigger loop and wrap your hands around the knee to keep the strap or the band in place. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing here. So you might need a few reps before your body and brain organize this motion. Oh. This one I think is kind of fun. And it's almost like you're pulling yourself up with your arms at the same time, right? The arms lengthen and then you bend them. Let's go 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And we'll release. Okay. Let's take the band off of your feet. And then we're going to work up into our table. How's everybody doing? Okay. So a little different stuff here. Okay, so once you come into your table, we're just going to go right into some easy cat-cows. Take a breath in. As you exhale, round your back. Inhale, arch. And take your time working in through our spine. And then when you come into neutral, let's walk hands forward, working our way into our puppy pose. Let your forehead come to the floor, melt your heart towards the floor. As you lift outside edges of the shoulder blades up to the sky, you might even work up onto your fingertips. And we'll breathe here. And then ease yourself back to child's pose. Let your arms go to wherever feels the most comfortable. Maybe do a little rocking here. And center yourself inside. All right, and then stretch arms forward. We're going to come back up. Okay, so we're going to take that loop, that 1 loop band. I'm going to sit down just to make it easier. And we're going to bring that band around the leg, just below the knee. Okay, so high up on your calf. Okay, and then from there, we're going to tuck our toes under and come into our bear pose. So before we even do that, let's take a big forceful exhale. Engage your core. Keep your spine in table pose position. So you don't want to feel like you're arching and you don't want to feel like you're rounding. Table pose position, navel towards the spine, toes tuck under, Lift your knees up just a little bit. And then we're going to pulse the knees out, or actually not pulse them, but just open wide and bring them in. And bring them out, bring them in. Push the back of your neck up towards the ceiling. Let's take 4 more of these. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Knees come down, release your toes. Take another little cat-cow. All right. And then come back to your table position. We're going to open the right leg out and bring it in. And open it out, bring it in. 3, 4, 5, 7. I don't know if you can hear that, but my strap is squeaking. 8. Now, as 8, you're going to hold there, and then we're going to stretch the opposite arm, so your left arm out to the side, and just breathe here and come back. All right, we're going to go to the other leg, so we're going to open the knee out and bring it in. 2, 3. It's almost like that. If someone rubs a balloon, it makes that squeaky sound. 4, 3, 2, and then this last one, we're gonna hold that knee out, open right arm straight out to the side, breathe, and come back. Let's wag hips side to side. Okay. And then from there, we're going to, let's come into a down dog now. We're a little warmer. Tuck your toes under, lift up into your down dog, and you can pedal your feet here and just feel that resistance of the band around your leg. And then stop for a sigh. And then come back to table, and we'll remove the band. Hardest part is taking the bands on and off. And now we're going to come onto our belly, but before we do that, I want you to take your longer strap or your longer band and place it across your mat. And then as we come down, you want that band to be, if your arms are down by your sides, where you can hold on to the bands, okay? So you're going to hold on to the band on each side with your hand. And then and palms are up. Now we're going to set up for our navel position. So lengthen out your tailbone, engage your glutes, pull your navel in and up. And then we're going to lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together, make sure the back of the neck is pushing up. Lift the legs if you'd like. And then we're going to lift the arms up, holding on to that band on each side, and pulse the arms out, out. Ooh, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we'll do 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it wide. Release. Hands under your forehead. Take a big breath in, sigh it out. Wiggle the hip side to side. Bend knees, move feet side to side. And then go along with the legs. Press your way back up to your table position. Let's get the knee pad set back into place if you're using that. And one more time, come into your cat-cows. Okay. All right. So from there, we're going to put the little loop around your right foot and come up to table again. And then you're going to hold on to the other little loop with your left hand. So it's right foot, left hand. Okay. All right. And then come to your table. And now we're going to go into those sunbird. So you're going to lengthen out right arm or left, right leg, left arm. Take a breath in, exhale, elbow and knee come together. Inhale, reach and come in, reach. Let's go. Two more. In and reach and in and reach. And then we're just going to hold here, but open the right leg to the right, open the left arm to the left. So you're reaching at a diagonal. And breathe right here. Up and release. Woo! Okay, let's switch it. So now the little loop will be around left foot and right hand. As we come back to table, then we're going to go into that sunbird. So you're going to lift the left leg, stretch the right arm forward. Okay. Oops, I got a weird grip on my right hand. So yeah, feel free to adjust as you need to. And then we're going to bring it in. Exhale, inhale, curl, reach. Three more on this side. Last one. As you reach long, right arm opens a little to the right, left leg opens a little to the left. Breathe. And release. Oh, let's release the strap or the band from your hand. Come back into whatever kind of movement you need. Maybe it's a cat-cow, maybe you want to wag your hips, maybe you want to go back into child's pose. You decide what's going to feel good. Take your time and breathe here. All right. From there, we're going to work our way up to standing. As you come up to standing, sorry, wanting to check what I'm doing, we're going to keep this long band and work our shoulders a little bit, a little more. So I really like doing this shoulder sequence with a band because the band has stretch to it. So if you've reached your maximum range of motion, the band is a little more forgiving than a strap would be. So we're just going to pull out. You can always adjust how wide you want your hands to make it more challenging, okay? And we're just going to come up and come down and up and down and up and down. Good. Now we're going to come up and we're going to bend and straighten. Now, if bending with the strap or the band going behind your back is too much, then you can go cross in front of your face. So do what feels comfortable for your shoulders. Feel free to adjust how close or far apart you have your hands. Good. All right, we're going to take one more. And then bend your left elbow, pull down with the right arm. And now we're going to straighten and bend. Oh, I got to adjust. And straighten and bend. 3, we're going to take 8 of them. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. And then come back up. Same thing on the other side. You're going to pull down with your left arm. And now you're going to straighten and bend the right arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, last one, and 8. Ooh, okay. And then come back up, and then we're gonna go around the world. So you're gonna go all the way up, keep your arms pretty straight. You don't wanna lock them, but they're mostly straight, and your shoulders aren't going to do any like shifting where one shifts forward. And we'll go all the way around. So remember, you can go wider with your hands to accommodate shoulders. And we'll just take 2 more of these. Open all the way around and bring it back. And 1 more, up and over. Go slow so you're paying attention to what your shoulders are telling you. And come back. Okay. From there, we're going to set that down. And we're going to find the little loop band again. Bring it back around the legs. And we're going to go just below the knee again. Okay. And then you're going to work your way back into kind of a chair pose. So you want your weight back into your heels and hips pushing back. And then we're going to start to step out and in, out and in. You're staying low, out, in. Open your chest, in, out, in. Now, maybe switch direction. Be a little creative. So it's not just to the side. You might go to a diagonal. You might go to the front. It's getting weird again. You might go to the back. Oh, that's my strap. I just broke my strap. I got an extra. Keep going. This one's stiffer. Okay. All right. So let's hope you're feeling your legs working here. Building our strength. Okay. And then let's come back up. Now we're going to take one of our blocks and place it right in the center. And then we're going to bring the loop around your feet again, like so. Okay. And then the foot that's closest to the block is going to lift up into a stork. Oh, challenging our balance, obviously. Okay. So you're going to lift up and then step onto your block. Make sure you're stepping nice and steady and you're kind of in this bent position now. And then use the strength of the foot, the leg that's stepped up to lift, open out to the side, and then step back down and lift the foot up again and come down. That's the sequence. We're going to do it 3 more times, okay? So we're going to step up or lift up, step to the side, bend, use that standing leg, push strong into it. As you lift up, we're going to open the foot out and then step back down and come back to your stork. This is challenging. Okay. I got to readjust my block. Okay, we're 2 more of those. We're taking it slow. So you're really focusing on your form. Up and step, bend. Now transfer your weight to that standing leg as you come up. Lift the leg out and then bend back down and stork. Okay, 1 more. Up and step, bend, push up slow, open out, and then bend back down, lift the foot, and release. Okay, we're gonna go to the other side. Okay. All right, ready? So we're gonna lift and step. Bend, transfer your weight onto your block leg and slowly come up, open out. And then step down, knee lift, and together. 3 more. Knee lifts onto the block, bend, push into that standing leg and lift the other foot out, and then bend back down, lift knee up, and come down. Up, step, bend, lift out, step down, knee up, and lower. 1 more. Lift up and step. Make sure you got a good stance on your block. Bend, push into your foot, open the leg out, step down, knee lift, and release. Good. Let's shake that block or shake that band off and give your legs a nice shake. Okay, we're going to change it up a little bit. Now we're going to go back to that long strap, or I keep saying strap, the long band. I'm just so used to saying strap. And then you're going to hold on to the 2 little loops with your hands, and then step onto the band right in the middle with your left foot. Okay. Okay. So we're just going to start with some upright rows. So you're just going to pull up and release down. We'll take 4. So we've got 2 more, and then we're going to add to this. Okay, so now as we row up, we're going to bring the right knee up to the side and bring it down. We'll try 4 of those. 4, 3 little paws at the top, 2, and 1. Okay, now we're going to add on to that. So we're going to, I'll show you first. We're going to lift up, step back, come back up, and close. So we'll do 4 of those. Ready? Lift up, step back, little curtsy, bring the knee back up, and close. 3 more. Lift, whoop, and curtsy, lift, close. Lift, curtsy, lift, close. Last one. Lift, losing my balance, curtsy, lift, and close. All right. Let's release, roll shoulders. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So move your band underneath your right foot. We'll start out with 4 of those upright rows, just the arms. So we're going to exhale, inhale. Last one. 4. Okay, now we're going to add the leg. So we're going to lift that. This side's harder for me to balance on. Release. Lift. Release. Lift. Release. 1 more like that. Lift. Release. Okay, we're going to add the curtsy. Lift. Curtsy. Lift. Close. Lift. Curtsy. Lift. Close. 2 more. Lift. Curtsy. Lift. Close. Lift. Curtsy. Lift. And close. Good. Release your foot. Do another little shoulder roll. Maybe even do some easy twists. Take a side. Okay. Now we're going to go back. I'm just going to turn this way. We're going to go back to where we were, both hands in each of the little loops. And then bring your foot, your left foot, over the band, okay? So we're coming into a little warrior 3. So we're going to actually bring our hands to prayer pose. And then we're just going to hinge and come up. Now, if that's too much, you can keep the foot to the floor and hinge and come up like that. Okay, so let's take 4 of them. Nice and easy. Hinge and come up. Hinge, come up. 2 more. Forward and up and forward and up. Good. Let's bring the hands down. Step off your band and we'll go to the other side. Right foot steps onto the band. Bring your hands up to your chest. And then we're going to go into that hinge. So let's bring the foot out first, like a kickstand. And then you might just hinge that way, or you might lift the foot too. So we're going to hinge forward. Ooh, this side's harder for me. And come up. 4 of these. Forward and up. And forward and up. 1 more time. And forward, fight for it. And come up. Good. Release. Let's step off. Shake out the legs again. Just have a few more things we're going to try. So let me just read my notes. Oh, okay. So actually, I wanted us to go from that warrior 1 or warrior 3 to a high lunge. So let's come back to stepping on your band with your left foot. And then we'll step our right foot back into a high lunge. And then we're going to row our elbows back. Take a breath in, exhale, pull, and down, pull, down. 3, really squeeze between your shoulder blades. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Step forward and we'll switch sides. Now the strap is, or the band is underneath your right foot. Step your left foot back to that high lunge so your heel is lifted. Make sure you're nice and steady, and then roll the shoulders back and down, and we'll do 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now you're going to keep your foot on the band, and we're going to come up, turn your toes forward, and then we're just going to turn out your right foot, the strap foot or the band foot. Bend your knee, and then we're going to bring our elbow to that thigh. So we're coming into side angle pose. You have 2 choices here with your arms. So the first one would be this will be the harder one, is to stretch all the way out, keeping your arm long and bringing it forward and up. If that's too much, you can do a row. Okay, so let's try it for 8 of these. Ready? 1 and 2. Oh, these are hard. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. Ah, good. And then come up. Let's hold on to both ends of the strap with your right hand. Come up to your warrior 2. Stretch the back arm long. And we'll take a great big breath in. Let it out. And then straighten. And we'll come down into a triangle pose position. Bend the knee, release the strap, come up. We'll go to the other side. So left hand's gonna hold on to one loop. Band will go underneath your foot, and then you're gonna ease your elbow onto the thigh. Bend the knee, and then we're gonna take this arm and move it so you can do that pull with the elbow, or you can go long with your arm. You decide what's gonna work for you, and we'll take 8 of those. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. Good. And then move your strap, both ends of the strap up, come into our warrior 2, reach that arm back, take a breath in and out, and then straighten, hand to the hip, come into that triangle pose. Good, and release your strap, come on up. Okay, last thing we're gonna do, you're gonna take your 2 blocks and stack them up just like this, okay? And then we're going to sit on them and bring your loopy strap or your loopy band back around your legs just below your knees. So we're coming into a supported squat. So you're gonna open out and just see how that's feeling. That could be where you stay. You could just let your knees release and push back out, release, push back out. Some of us are going to try to stand. So you're going to push your weight into your heels, your chest comes forward a little bit, and then push up through the heel. Now, if that's too much and you don't want to do that first option, you could do a chair pulse, pushing out into your bands, or you could lower down and press back up. And lower down and press back up. Let's go 2 more. Down and press up and down and press up. Good. And then we'll lower down. We'll hold that. Lift your chest. Breathe. And then keep your left elbow pushing out as you stretch your right arm up. You can hold on to the band with your hands if that's helpful. And then bring your right elbow in, maybe hold on to the strap. Reach your left arm up. And come back. Let's bring the legs in. Woo. And we'll move that band off of our leg. Come forward so that you can come off the block. And then we're going to ease ourselves back down. Just a little stretch here in the back, on the back. Bring your knees in. Rock side to side. And we're just going to stretch out the outer hip a little bit. So set your left foot down. Bring your right thigh all the way over the left thigh. And then bring the knees up. Hold on to the knees with your hands right now. And think of your calves and your feet like tweezers. So you're going to squeeze the feet together and then open the feet as wide apart as they'll go. And bring them together and open them wide. So I'll change the angle so you can kind of see what my feet are doing. Bring them together and open. One more together and open. And then as you open, you might slide your hands a little lower than the knees and just give a little pull here. Okay, and then we'll switch. Hold on to the knees and then feet together and bring them wide. And feet together, bring them wide. A couple more like this. And then as you go wide here, maybe bring your hands just a little lower than the knees and give a pull. As you uncross, rock side to side again. And then bring one knee to the chest, the other leg is long, or you can have the foot back on the floor. Sigh here. And then switch. And sigh again. And then bring both legs long. Now we're going to loosely move your legs side to side. So the feet go in the same direction at the same time, loose and floppy. So you'll feel even a little twist up in the hips, just very small. You just kind of let that be loose. Okay, and then pause. Now you're going to do the same movement, but now the feet go in towards each other and away from each other. Yeah. And then relax and stretch out one more time. Bring knees to the floor or feet to the floor, bent knees, easy side to side twist. And then stop center. Take a great big sigh and just melt into the floor right here. Let's go one more. Hmm. Good. And then when you're ready, bring your knees into your chest, rock a little bit, rolling to your side, press yourself upright. Ah, once you're seated tall, we're just going to lean forward, keeping your spine straight. So you're just hinging from your hip. And if you want a little more stretch, you're going to walk your hands in the direction your front toes are pointing. And then come back up and we'll switch the cross of the leg. Same thing, coming forward. And then maybe walk hands in the direction your front toes are pointing. Come back center. And come up. Let's roll the shoulders a few times. Ah, all right. And then take a great big shrug. Relax the shoulders down. All right. Thanks for joining me for yoga with resistance bands. There's lots of other things we could do with resistance bands, but that was just a little taste of some of the possibilities. I hope you found it fun as well as challenging. And I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye bye.